Good. Hello, can you hear me? No. Hello, hello.
Testing.
Hello.
It's just this one.
This one's a bit quiet.
Individual.
It's got a little.
Hello, hello.
Test, no.
Testing.
Needs to be a lot louder.
Testing.
That's
Now it works.
Welcome to this evening's meeting of the Planning, Development and Licence Committee. I'd like to advise everyone present, should the fire alarm sound, you should leave the building immediately by one of the fire exits, which is clearly signposted outside the committee room. Please only use the stairs, do not use the lift. The fire assembly point is in the staff car park at the rear of the Dean House. You should not return to the building for any reason until you have been advised to do so. Can I remind everyone to please put their phones on silent mode and keep the phone away from the microphone to minimise interference. The meeting will be recorded and live webcast, and therefore when speaking, please remember to speak clearly into the microphone. And as chair of the meeting, I have the discretion to terminate or suspend recording and webcasting if, in my opinion, continuing to do so prejudices the proceeding of the meeting. Recording and webcasting of the confidential items will also not take place. Please remember, if you leave the meeting room for any reason, you will not be able to take part in the vote on the item being discussed at the time. Please, can I request that when speaking, you make the points as succinct as possible to allow for the smooth running of the meeting. Please, can I also take the opportunity to remind you to be polite and treat each other with respect at all times. For members of the public wishing to use the toilets, these can be found off the landing immediately outside the committee room. Can I request anyone who has brought a cup or glass into the committee room, please can you return it to the kitchen area after the meeting has finished? Thank you. Right, so first of all, I'd like to ask any member of the public who would like to speak.
Yeah, good evening, thank you. My name is Brian Markham, and I live at CA1 4NQ, number 18, Coleman Road. I'm coming in tonight very impromptu, not as well prepared as I would normally want to be in a public forum question, but I'm grateful that you've given me the chance to speak. My concern is that this committee focuses more on the Orchard Grove development and the obligations that were signed up to in granting planning permission for the S106 conditions. Those conditions were quite extensive, and they actually are principal aspects of that development. As you know, it's a sizable development of what will finish up at 2,400 houses, and its impact on the western side of Taunton is considerable. It did attract over 600 individual written letters of objection and public planning inquiry and 2 public meetings at Castleford and Blackpool. It was hugely concerning. One of the biggest responses ever given to an application in Taunton. However, the application was given out by the Commission, and then you as a planning committee are being presented with phased applications for the detailed development aspects. Now, throughout all this, there is the 106 obligations that were conditional upon that application being granted in outline form. And the issues that are coming up are things like who will own and manage the open spaces, particularly Horsebridge Park, who will own and manage things like the community centre, the GP surgery, and then other facilities, shopping precinct, the sports fields and the allotments. These are all things which were in the 106 document. And this development has gradually grown phase by phase. I just imagine we're up to about phase 7, I should think now, or pocket 7, or if not more. And we've yet to hear any clarity on who's owning these obligations. The difficulty has been that they were signed up to during the days of Taunton Deane District Council, SWT that followed, and now the planning authority is rested within the unitary council. So there is this debate, I suspect, about who owns the obligations. But the one thing I would underline here is that in the whole planning concept of this development, it made particular reference to garden town status and that model principle in planning design and implementation, for which Taunton Council, Taunton Deane, received funding, government support for the concept. And so the question mark is, where is that money being spent? How is it being targeted on the sizable development that this is? What progress has been made with the facilities that the S106 described? And who is going to own and manage the open spaces concerned? So I recognise tonight there won't be any answers to that, because it's a set of big questions. But I just want to put a marker down, because this committee has to take some form of progress on this, because it's too substantial for Taunton to allow this development to progress without these commitments being developed and delivered. So I'd be grateful if you as a planning committee could raise the appropriate questions with the planning authority, with Simon Fox, who is the planning liaison officer on the unitary. He's fully aware of these issues, and I think you guys as the planning committee and then subsequently informing your full council need really to draw some real focus on this, because the time is almost expired. Some of these phases are too far in now, and we need to understand where it's going. Otherwise there will be a public criticism of not honouring those original commitments. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you.
I actually think, Marcus, like you said, you could come back. Is that okay?
Yeah, I think probably myself and Councillor Stainford were still raising on something to say, obviously as vice chair of the stewardship working group that the town council has set up to look at the Coronation Garden community. We're actually meeting with the developers and Simon Fox tomorrow afternoon, so it's good timing actually. There's been a lot, I'd say, since Christmas time in terms of, we've been keen to meet with the developers and find out what's going on with the site and how we, I think the council has expressed an interest in having a role in and the various models that are there with the public open space on that site, as you say. I think Somerset Council have been pretty clear that they don't wish to take on any more open space as part of their sort of model of being council going forward. So I think they're good questions you posed, and I think we are keen to carry on and have these conversations. So you recognise it's quite a large number.
Can they come back briefly in response to one aspect?
Yeah.
Yeah, very back briefly. Thank you for that, Marcus. If you are meeting with Simon, the kind of flags we need to put down are not those listed things. And you're recording this meeting. Is it audio recording?
Yeah, it's been
Yeah, so you'll pick up the points I've raised, because there's a few of them. I should say that the school, which is being run and developed through the academy process, which I think Castle School own, has progressed remarkably well. It is in the centre of the development. It was the old phase 3, the centre of the site. And it does beg questions about access for the pupils as the numbers grow. Now, one of the things that has to be in there is the current access. One of them could be from the trolley end coming to a road. It is not a road. It's only a road by name only. It is barely a lane. It is certainly not two-way traffic. It's extremely dangerous with blind bends. And if this is the principal access to the school, the town and the school are in trouble, because it's remarkably dangerous. Now, I'm aware of how long it takes Somerset County highways to progress these things. But I should say to you that we had Two of the officers from Somerset County Highways attend our parish council meeting towards the end of its days before it was absorbed into Taunton. They attended Coventry Parish Council and they were fully supportive at the end of the evening on getting Coventry Road closed to traffic. In other words, it becomes a pedestrian cycleway, because that's all it's fit for. And that the new spine road will take the traffic that currently tries to navigate Coventry Road. The new spine road is built to do that and make the link from the Wellington Road to Troll. But it is not, the Coventry Road is not fit as the lane that it is for taking traffic or kids walking to that school. And my nightmare is the accidents that I know will happen when kids try to do that, particularly in winter. No pavements, blind bends, no street lights. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Right, so I think the next, oh, Judy, would you like to, sorry, Councillor Stapleton.
Thanks, Chair. Yeah, Brian was saying a couple of things. First of all, there is a list of things tomorrow that we're going to cover with the developers and Sammy folks. We've been, Marcus have been trying for considerable time to arrange this meeting. It's not been easy to get, as you can imagine. The developers seem to be quite busy most of the time. We do have a list of questions on about the parks and open spaces. We want to see an updated overview of the site, where the parks and open spaces are, which ones are assets that will be transferred, which ones are supposed to be purchased, because this was previously agreed as they say by the county council. The Unitary Council are not taking the responsibility for these parks and open spaces, so the developers and the planning department are now looking to Taunton Town Council. The question has to then be raised as, can we afford it? Absolutely. And the still money that's already been given to the council is, most of it seems to be either spent or already set for other reasons. And there is still money still to come, but we have asked the question of when that still money will come, because without the money, we can't build parks. And apparently, if we look through the last paperwork report, the still money is given after phases of a certain number of houses. But they were talking about 1,500 houses. Well, the development building the houses is actually still quite the question is whether they're selling really quickly or I don't know. And they're held up because of the phosphate situation and the Dutch end case. So they can't actually build any more than currently and have been cleared for building. They've got to offset more land to build any more houses. So that is a bit of a, we are stuck at an impasse until they resolve that issue. They can't build more houses. If there's no more houses built, then there's no more release of sell money. But we want to know what the phase plan is for the parks and open spaces, because we haven't been given any timelines for any of these things. We need timelines. And then there's also the school and the situation of the road, Cometro Lane and Cometro Road. Cometro Lane is still open also, which is dangerous. There's now a crossroad at the top of the hill, which there's already been a number of near misses. And that's not a crossroad that is a legal crossroad. It's just you're travelling across what is an existing road. There's no further, the road is going to end at the school for the time being. The big concern is how the children access the school from the other side of Cometro Road. Because you know, they have to travel and be down Wellington Road to roundabout and up through the development. So there are a number of questions that need to be asked, but it has to be answered by the planning department and the developers. So we've sent through a list. Marcus has already done lots of questions for them already. Whether we got all the answers that we're looking for, we don't know, but certainly we'll ask all the questions we can tomorrow.
Is there any? Councillor Fay?
Okay. Thank you, Chair. I'm a bit confused because I was on the planning for Somerset Western Taunton and I thought Coventry Road was going to be pedestrianised only.
Yes.
So that's what we when it came to planning with us. I don't understand, you're talking over a year ago to get on for two. That's a bit of a concern. Is if it's been changed. The other thing that also concerns me, normally the developer puts any open spaces into, a management company. They've done this at Westmoreland, and Westmoreland have taken it back, and that they control the management company. I'm a bit concerned someone's let it drop. Something. It should, you know, we should change it as a town council. And find out why there's been a change from what the original planning was. They've obviously changed the planning. Thank you, Chair.
Is there anybody else with any comments? Councillor Stapleton.
Just a quick response to Councillor Tully. Would it be possible, I know we have the stewardship group meeting tomorrow with developers and Simon Volks, which is predominantly around open spaces, parks and open spaces and responsibility bond. But would it be possible to ask for the planning officer, Simon Volks, to come to a town council meeting to answer questions? We would like to see the updated plans for the development and the expected timelines. And if he wants to bring one of the developers, a representative from the developers, even better, but to have a forum where councillors can ask questions about this new development, because a lot of things do seem to have changed, and not for the better in these cases. And at some point, somebody's going to get hurt in these roads. That's what worries me the most. We also don't have a drop-off point in the school. There is nowhere to drop children off in that school. It's a primary school. People don't, 5-year-old, 6-year-old children don't walk to school for far distances. So there's a lot of questions I think we need answers to.
Can I just add, there's a lead time element to this.
Can I speak?
Yeah, there's a lead time element to this. Now, highways would take the best part of a year to do something almost fairly straightforward, because there's an administrative lag in the time it takes to implement and get authority for changes to highways elements. So you look at the best part of a year. So even if the development is on hold for the moment or slowing, this is the time to get those things started, because it's to deliver. And I'm sorry I've come back 2 or 3 times, but this is so important. I want to speak up. Okay, thank you.
Two.
Yeah, sorry, that was a reference to the ongoing service that I wanted to speak, sorry, just to be clear. I remember this coming about, going back, sorry, Nick, back to Conley. We had a session about it when we were looking to take over the community centres and stuff. As a council, besides Mr Fox and everything else, does Marcus know, are we on track to make a decision about that? I think it was left open, I can't remember where we are on that, whether we had 3 options or something.
It's funding.
Right, I think we'll turn this to an end now. We'll roll on to the meeting now.
Sorry, move on.
Yeah, it's going to be really fast. Okay, Councillor Tully.
Westmoreland Parish Council default to get their hands on the land. So the town council's got to do the same. There's no good saying we'll leave it. I think something should be brought and explained to the town council and exactly what we can or can't do. I know Simon Wilkes dealt with Westmoreland.
I just wanted to thank you. Can I just say, in reference to the management companies, you guys need to ask the experience of Bishop Hull. Bishop Hull have had a space there under management company, and their parish council regularly reported the problems with that management company. They just weren't performing, they weren't delivering. And the management company concept is becoming a problematic area, both for residents and people on a council like this. There is no guarantee, there's no substance to the delivery, and it is a real problematic area. And I think the days of management companies and open spaces is numbered. It's got to come back into local council's control. And I understand the finances, I understand where the seal money is problematic. Troll received an awful lot of that seal money, and you have to ask where that money went, because it should be invested back in the consequence of the development. But thank you very much, Chair, and I'll leave you to all those points. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Right, the next item is volumes. So we have Councillor Lester and Councillor Isaac. That's okay. The next item is declarations of interest. Is there any declaration of interest in the room? No. Okay, so the next one is the minutes. Yes, Councillor, Marcus.
Sorry, apologies, these were tabled tonight. You should have a copy in front of you. I didn't manage to get them sent around prior to this evening, so apologies. Hopefully, they are sorry.
Yes, so the minutes to approve and sign as a record, previous meeting held on the 17th of April 2020. Is everybody happy with that? So could I get a proposer? Councillor Tully, could I get a seconder? Councillor Stainford, and should we go to the vote? Yes, that's carried. Thank you very much. So the next item is submission of comments, feedback on behalf of the town council to notification of planning applications in the area. As per 10.1.8 of the town's council's opening reference to the scheme of delegation, apply as delegation authority to submit comments, feedback on behalf of the town council to notifications, planning applications in the area when required, and in the occasion where there is an inability of the planning committee to meet within the required deadlines, which is 21 days from the notification. So, is everybody have a look at the submission? Could I get any proposal in the room? Councillor Stapleton, can I get any seconder? Councillor Twos, there's a vote. It's carried. Thank you. Right. So, going to the next part, planning application received from the local planning authority. So the first application to look at is 5.38-24-0110-CMA. Which is a Class MA notification. Application to determine if prior approval is required for a change of use and conversion from commercial business service use Class E into 2 number of dwellings Class C3 at Trident Court, 11 Lower Middle Street in Taunton. So if we go slightly down the page, we will have a look at the
Decision's been made.
yeah, so there's been a decision made. Should we look at the existing proposed ground floor? Yeah, great. Which one? So you click out the fourth one, the existing and proposed. Yeah, I'm going to look at this in the week. I didn't really see much issues with this. Seeing the old Trident house, the layout looked pretty good at what they wanted to achieve. The only thing I wanted to say is, which I think has been raised anyway, is possible cycle storage would be great. You can see for the office space, they've obviously just closing it up and put loads of storage. Yes, it's not too bad. So, you got any comments? Oh, Councillor Staple.
Well, I'm looking at that, it's short notice rental plans, obviously that's single bed in the bedroom, which means that obviously there's not a huge amount of space in that bedroom. We put it in the diagrams, single, so these are single person dwellings, but they are, you know, quite small, but I think quite small. So.
I'm kind of glad they didn't try squeezing the double bed in there and didn't have any storage at all. So it's kind of like it's a work-based property. We've got everything necessity what we need, and I'd probably say there's a lot more storage areas than ones we've looked at in the past, which we've had issues with. So, in my opinion, I don't have any issues with this application at all. And supporting this, if you agree. So, can I get a proposal? Councillor Twos, and then seconded. Councillor Stainport, goes to the vote. That's carried, thank you. The next application is 38-24-00B7. Which is an erection of single-story extension to the side and rear of 49 to 51 Hamilton Road, Thames. And it's fine.
Just slow down a wheelchair, sorry.
It's gone 5-10-5 then.
It was going 5-9-5.
It's done that further down, hasn't it?
It's a response.
Yeah, this is the correct.
That's what I've got on my agenda.
Is that necessary?
Chair, I think if you go to the PBL or whatever, it's in a different order. So it suddenly slips slightly different markers.
Yeah, apologies, I'm not sure what's happened there to that.
Sorry.
You scroll down to the 5.1. There's 20, by my count, there's 21 applications on this next section.
So it's fine. This is
So we've
fine.
just done 5.1, but then it should go to 5.2, which is, it looks like you.
Yeah, I just can't what's done.
Yeah, sorry.
Yes, it's fine. So yeah, we'll go right this way then now, just back over to that, it's fine. So yeah, this is 5.2, which is 38-24-0087, which is
I think Ollie's going by decisions as well, so, let me, 2 seconds.
I don't know, which all you do, which and find so.
That's how to put this on, yeah.
That's what I was there. Which one you want? I might make this one 5.10, but it comes, that's should be in.
I'm not sure what's the name. Technology.
5.3, something like that.
Incompetence.
Technology.
Do you want me to? To up to 5.9.
So you now on that one. Which is listed building, just listed building. Yeah.
It's different. 5.11 is a listed building, but this is 17 Trinity Street.
There's 2 Trinity Street, I think, tonight.
So we're currently on, sorry, it's completely stunned.
So we're going to 5.2.
The final two. So this is 38-223-0405-LB, which is listed building consent works, change of use, parts residential C3, part community use F2, in brackets B, to full residential use and demolition of 3 extensions with various repair and restoration, erection of ground and first floor extension and detached garage and installation of solar panels at 17 Trinity Street. Awesome. Okay, so this side on the 9th of May had the decision. Should we have a look at the decision? Yeah.
I did in such a short time.
That can require the submission of information further detail with certainty.
so much more has come to decision.
No, I don't.
So I think it's probably no point, comment on this, it's had a, decision on it anyway, isn't it? So should we move on to the next application? Yeah? Okay, so, if we go back to the, homepage again. We're on, okay, so we're on, should we just check anyway?
Yeah.
So we go to 5.3, which is 38-23-0406, which is full planning permission, changing use. It's exactly the same, but obviously not with the listed buildings.
The conditional approval was made.
Yeah, so this is a decision as well. So, yeah, we won't, just move on to the next application again. Okay, guys? So the next application is 5.4, which is 38-24-0086-LD, which is listed building consent works, removal of internal columns to open up retail space at 33 4th Street, Taunton. I think this is currently the shop where they sell random stuff. I remember. Yes. So I remember doing work a couple of years ago, having columns in a room, obviously for a shop or anything they want to turn it into could really limit its space for physical, what you can actually store and how you sell things. So things like this, I personally think are a really good, improvement to a property to really, open up the availability to anybody